This is the Players Table, brought to you by Hooters, the original wing joint since 1983. Casey Phillips here with Haason Reddick, the birthday boy. Haason, thanks so much for joining us.
I appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
And then we have, for the first time ever, a special co-host, Will Gholston, Buccaneers legend. Will, thanks for doing this with us.
No problem.
I know fans are going to be hyped to see the two of you sitting there on that couch getting ready to talk about an amazing game. 3-0, not a bad way to start. It's been 25 years since this team started 3-0. Look at Will's face. you were here for a lot of those years to know that that's a tough thing to manage. So first, how's it feel, Haason, to be 3-0 and a nice little birthday present?
It's amazing. You can't, like you said, birthday, victory Monday. I mean, what more could you ask for?
I love it. Yeah. And so now, 3-0 is a hard thing, obviously, to do in this league. And you guys have done it in maybe one of the hardest fashions possible. Just drama all over the place. What has it been like to watch what this team has been made of and shown what they can do, to have 3 game-winning drives, which that has never happened before in this, since the merger? It's crazy what this team has been able to do to win. What has that told you about this team?
Man, just, that we're a tough team. We can get the job done. But honestly, shout out to the offense. Shout out to Big. I seen a stat on Instagram that the NFL posted that I think the 3 back-to-back wins and a 2-minute drive hasn't been done since 1970. So shout out to Big. Shout out to the offense. They're getting the job done and definitely contributing to us getting these wins.
And Will, what's it been like for you watching these last-minute stressful games now as kind of a fan?
It's dope. I don't think I see the game as a fan yet. I'm breaking down film. I'm still calling out the plays you're running. I'm like, oh man, there it is. That's the look. That's low. That's ammo.
That's great. And what is it like to look at what this team has been doing, of knowing kind of what it says about the chemistry of the team and the idea of teams that know they can pull out that win, that there's that difference of culture-wise of when you expect to win and expect to pull it off. Haason, it's your first year coming in. What have you noticed about that vibe and culture for this team in this locker room?
Just that, like I said earlier, that we can get the job done. It's going to be needed. It's really hard. It's really tough to win in the NFL, and to do it in the fashion that we have been doing it. It's just amazing to see. You're always on the edge of your seat, whether you're a fan, a player. Just are we going to get it? And to see us pull it out these first 3 times, these first 3 games, it's amazing to see. We're trending in the right direction. Hopefully, all of our games aren't like this, but it makes it exciting to watch. It makes it exciting to be a part of.
So, Will, you said you're watching it still, kind of breaking down film. Tell me what you saw in the defense and the way they were able to hold steady there.
Some resiliency. Some of the things that happened, y'all going to hear it in the meeting, because I know just the philosophy that the coaches had for sure. But the resiliency, I saw the in-game corrections. I saw pressure on the quarterback. I saw hustle to the ball. I saw all of that. It's good to see that doesn't change. That standard won't change, and I'm glad to have a guy like this on the team that I can watch and be like, yo,
appreciate you.
He coming off that ball, he humming. So.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I know, Haason, this one, every game is important, but I always love when players say every game is the same when they go against former teams. I'm like, first of all, I don't believe you. But tell me how nice it felt to get that win against the former team, and I'm sure there was a little extra motivation. Your first home game as a Buck in front of the home fans and against your former team. That's quite a combination.
I'm happy. I'm excited to be able to get it done. A lot of things I had to go through last year with the Jets. So, like you said, first home game, and to be able to pull that one out in front of the crew, amazing, and just extremely grateful that we came out on top.
We're talking to Haason Reddick and Will Gholston. So, Haason, first home game, that's a real regular season game, and it was a very special one. It was honoring, the 50 years of the team. You get to wear the white creamsicles. You're so new to the team. Did you understand how big of a deal it was to, the team and the fans to have these jerseys for the first time?
Most definitely. You get to throw those throwbacks on, get out there, look fresh, look clean. But like you said, you seen I seen them showing the past guys that played here or won Super Bowls here, and that was amazing. Makes you want to go out there and go and get a Super Bowl yourself. So when when I'm coming back to the game, other guys on the team is coming back to the games to be introduced in front of the fans and, still feel that love, just like Will said, because you're going to always, even after you're retired and things like that, you're going to always feel like a player. You're going to always have love for the game. You're going to always have a special connection to a team that you won a Super Bowl with, or a place that you won a Super Bowl with. So, like I said, it just made me feel that much more stronger about wanting to go out there and doing it this year, so that way we can try to bring that on and get those memories and that bond and that teammate, that family love here.
And tell me, be honest, cannons, how'd we handle them?
I'm used to it now. I know that the first preseason game that we had here, it caught me off guard like 3 times.
How many times you jumped every time?
Every time. The first 3 times the cannons went off, I jumped. It caught me off guard so many times. But like I said, preseason prepared me for it. I was
cool as a cucumber now.
Listen, I was ready for it this time.
Look, I love it. It's my 11th season. I still jump every time. So I'm proud of you. That's all it took. How long did it take you, Will? Do you remember?
I jumped probably the first time they got into the 20 because I didn't know what was happening.
That's the one that gets me too every time.
2013,
the score, it's like everybody's loud, it's whatever, but like what gets me is if it's like a 1-yard run from like the 21 to the 20 and it's like nothing's happening and then the cannon goes off. That's the one that gets me every time.
To that. That's crazy.
All right, so now tell me, for both of you guys, watching the blocked field goal return for the touchdown to then immediately a game-winning drive. What was going through both of your minds? Haason, we'll start with you.
At first I was like, oh, man, because we had the lead. At that point in time, you're thinking that, we're getting ready to kick the field goal, go up 13 points, kind of put the game a little bit more out of reach, and then you see that, and it's like, it's nobody's fault. He jumped over the line, blocked the kick. A great play by him, by Will, but seeing the offense do it 2 times, had those game-winning drives 2 times 2 weeks beforehand, it's like, okay, you got confidence. You got Bake out there. He's balling at a high level right now. So you like, what? Our offense has this. They're going to go down. They're going to drive. They're going to put this game, they're going to win a game for us, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, Will, how about you?
For me, I'm like, they scored too much time on the clock. 3 timeouts, a minute 38. Took the ball from the 10 all the way to the 35. I'm like, they got enough time. I was calling it out. It was a dude sitting next to me in the stands. I'm like, look, we got time. Boom, first down. We get all the way down to the 20. So they about to milk the clock down. They're not gonna snap this ball. They're gonna try to jump, make them jump, get a little extra, but milk the clock. Take a knee. 3 seconds left. Kick the field goal. That's just as a scripted. Y'all know how y'all had those meetings. So you know the meeting I'm talking about, where they like, this is the 2-minute situation. How do you prepare? How do you do it? So with Coach Bowles and the staff, they go through these type of things. How do you like that with Coach Bowles and staff? Like the preparedness, like how does he get you prepared for the game?
Yeah, I love it, man, because I've been on teams before where you kind of botch or mess up that 2-minute drive. You know what I'm saying? A timeout called too early or things in that situation. So just to see that the IQ here is so high and knowing what to do in order to get the win, I mean, you gotta love it. You know that everybody's on the right page, and you got smart players, smart coaches that know what they're doing. It makes it that much easier to, be trustful in those situations and know that, well, look, our offense showed it time and time again. They know what they got to get done. Our coaches done it time and time again, calling the right plays, calling timeouts when they need to be called, milking the clock, as you said, when it needs to be done. And so far, we're 3-0 on executing in those situations.
That's great. And I know Yaya and Antoine both had some really great plays, really great moments in that game. Haason, what did you notice from both of them and just what it's been like for you watching your guy, Yaya, develop and come along? I
promise you, I lied to you not. I told Yaya he's going to get his sack this week or this past week. And just to see it come true, because I know how much that meant to him. I know in the Atlanta game, he he got a sack. It got called back due to a flag on the defense. And to, see him get his first sack this past week. Sacks come in bunches. So that was good to get him rolling. As far as Tweez, he's a baller. He's been doing this for a while now. A great playmaker, and somebody that when his number is called, he's going to make the play. So just the utmost confidence in him from everything that he's shown in his career, and to see that he's still doing it.
Yeah, and then we'll have what you've been noticing about Antoine and just continuing to make these ridiculous plays.
He's been doing it for a while. Just like in the Atlanta game when they threw that, what was that, a wheel route they had? He came out of nowhere. Boop. I'm like, oh, okay, perfect. Because I'm watching the game. I was like, oh, that's great. And then watching Yaya, like I knew he was going to be a destructive force on the defense when he got drafted, man. He's big enough to play a defensive tackle, but fast enough to be a DB, And then like the culture, I want to ask you this. I see the culture, like when you coming from different cultures and coming into this culture and seeing the guys like young guys like that playing ball, how do you try to foster that relationship with them guys?
Oh man, it was nothing that needed to be fostered, honestly. What was that, 2020? The team had won a Super Bowl here. I remember that with Tom, and it's good to see that culture, is still here. It hasn't gone anywhere. I know past years things may not have went right, but just to see that we're still, the goal is always the same. The culture is the same. Forgive me for saying that, but it reminds me when I was with the Eagles, the kind of culture that we have there. Everybody has a winning mentality. Everybody has a do whatever needs to be done so that we can get the win mentality. And, being here in my first year, these first 3 games, undoubtedly so we have that here. And I think it's going to take us far, and it's something that we need in order to pull out these tough games.
Yeah, and you bring up the Eagles. Of course, we're playing them this next week. I conveniently brought you on the show right smack dab in between your former teams, which you're playing all your former teams this season, which is wild. Like the odds of that working out on a schedule are crazy. So tell me, for the Eagles, like, you're clearly very familiar. Of course, at this point, the Bucs are very familiar with them, having played them 1,000 times, it feels like, in recent years. Tell me what you're going to know that you have to focus on about their offense in your role, and just what you're going to be telling the defense overall.
We got some guys to stop. It's a great offense that they have. They have playmakers on all levels of the ball, from wide receiver to the line that they have. One of the toughest O-lines in the league. A winning quarterback in Jalen, and a great running back in Saquon. So it's going to be a great task for us, but looking forward to it. If we can get this win, we could stop these guys. What does that say about us? So always looking, when you're going against an offense like this, a team like this, always looking to, rise up to the challenge, because that then puts us on a different, a level. It's like any sport. When you got a person who, or a team that's deemed that team, those guys, and you go out there and you're able to defeat them, you're able to get the win, well, what does that say about you now?
I like it. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to have more with Haason Reddick and Will Gholston on the Players Table, brought to you by Hooters, the original wing joint since 1983. This is Buccaneers Radio. Welcome back into the Players Table, brought to you by Hooters, the original wing joint since 1983. We have Haason Reddick and Will Gholston here with us. So I know we talked about it a little bit going into that first segment, but to have a guy like Coach Bowles as your DC and HC, for you and your position, tell me what he asks of you, and then just how he sets you up for success and who he is.
He just wants us to be relentless. He wants us to go out there, put pressure on the QB, and make plays. He's a great defensive mind. He's been doing it for a long time. And just to be around somebody like that, you get to understand the game a little bit differently. You get to see, you actually get to learn things. So being here in my 9th season, just seeing the way he calls the game, being around him in meetings, to see what he's thinking. I get to just still be a student of the game. I get to still learn, and learn from a guy like Bowles is just great. Continue to build my defensive IQ from being around him, and that'll continue to make me a better player.
Yeah, and Will, tell me, what are the things that people don't know about Bowles? What are the things that you think fans or people see that laugh? I feel like I already said a lot.
So he's and correct me if I'm wrong, you should know by now by talking to him, but he is a dead serious jokester. Like, he will make a joke, but he will be dead serious, you know? So I think the way that he delivers his messaging can get across to anybody, you know? So he is hard and he's stern, but he is a lovable guy. He is a nice guy, but like you were saying, he wants you to be a man, be accountable for your job, do your job. Everything will come into play. He'll joke with you, but sometimes in jokes, or he being serious for sure.
Yeah, I love that, being serious about his jokes. I feel like that's a great way to describe him. How about having a guy like Levante David and what that's meant for you coming in to have a guy who has so much knowledge of the Bucs and then plays at the level he does? What's it been like to play alongside him, and maybe what you knew about him before coming in as well?
Man, what a guy, what a leader, what a captain he is. To be still balling at a high level in his 14th season. I mean, he's just showing how to play football, how to do it the right way, you know, how to have a long-lasting career. He just played his 200th game or started his 200th game as a Buck, and I mean, man, he's leaving a legacy here, something that's going, you know, they're going to talk about him for a long time, the things that he was able to do here and accomplish here. And, you know, being in my ninth season, my career, it just, you know, it gives me somebody to, you know, to look up at his career and be like, you know, I want these things for myself. So continue to go out there. You can learn from him. It's been an extreme pleasure to play with him and just see the attitude, the motivation that he brings to the game, and, you know, how he's able to lead us in these situations that we've been in.
I know injuries have just been so unfortunate so far for this team. It is wild and so condensed in certain positions. Will, what is it like for you to watch what they've done with this offensive line of just
man,
all that shuffling, and then also losing Kalijah? I know that's a guy that you know well from your group. So maybe start with Kalijah and just what losing him is going to mean to this defense and what they're going to have to do to step up to replace a guy like him.
It's in my opinion, extremely hard loss because it's hard to replace a talent like that. He is a sensational pass rusher, can stop the run. He plays bigger than what his body size is, and he's also a leader, and he's gotten more vocal throughout his years. So replacing him, I know the mentality in all of the rooms is next man up and do your job. So we all get coached and trained to do the same thing. So I know the next guy up, as they showed in there, Greg, I think Greg got in there, started. He's a savvy vet. You know, he can do all of the intangible things. Got Logan out there. Got a couple new faces out there. I like the young boy, 9'5".
Yeah.
He can go. He can go. So I think that it's going to be hard to replace, but I think that only makes you better. Iron sharpens iron, and even when he goes down, you just got to sharpen your blade more to have your tools to go out there.
Yeah, and then watching the O-line have to be where, I mean, I thought I was going to get called into service this week. I saw
crazy. Elijah started at guard.
Yep.
Man, what a time, man. That's dope. I remember going against him in practice, and it was good to see him be able to hold his own. And that's really hard with the offensive line because they got to gel they have to be on the same page every time. So I think the first couple quarters, you know, getting that gel in, you know, because a week isn't really enough to play and to gel like that.
And it was a short week.
You know?
Yeah.
So you see them gel throughout the first quarter, and then second quarter they got better, third quarter they got better, fourth quarter they got better, came through with a 2-minute drive and won. So I think they can only go up from here.
We're talking to Will Gholston and Haason Reddick. So, all right, Haason, Vita Vea. I'm sure when you were an Eagle, you hated him. He was the Eagle killer over there, that tush push killer. Now playing alongside that guy, how impressive is what he does, and what was it like to even just see it kind of more in person on the team side versus being on the opposing side?
You know, I always admired this game. You know, just the force that he is, the way he can, you know, push guys into the QB and wreck plays. Even before coming here, and my cousin, he can attest to this. Always said that, man, I would love to play with a guy like him. You know, when you do the things that he does, his work speaks for itself, and that's what it is. You get guys like me. You get guys that would love to join the team with him and play alongside of him because of the way he approaches the game. And, you know, another guy that I'm extremely happy and blessed that I've been able to come and, you know, play with him during my career. Like I said, I love his game. I love being around him. You know, he's one of the guys that made the transition for me coming here so easy just because of how he's embraced me. Me and Vita, we talk every day. You know, whether we laughing, we joking, we talking about football, no matter what it is, we're always talking. And, you know, he's one of the guys that I have drawn close to him, you know, have become like a brother with. You know, we can talk about anything, we can laugh about anything, and it's just, like I said again, it's just a blessing to be able to play with a guy like him.
Yeah, I feel like Vita is another guy that goes under the radar for how funny he is, because I know the same thing. Like Will was over here just like chuckling to himself as you said that about being able to joke with Vita, and I feel like that's definitely someone who he's kind of almost like Bowles in that way, where fans don't always get to see that side of him.
Yeah, no, he's a humongous jokester, no pun intended. But no, it was just cool to hear you talk about whether he's embraced you and how he's, in a sense, even though you got a couple years over him, he put you under his wing and letting you see the culture, man. It's dope for me to see, at least knowing him and knowing when he came in, he was my little,
little bro.
Yeah, man, big little bro. But no, it's definitely dope, man. I like the way that you're talking about the team. Like, that is dope.
Yeah, no, man. We got great guys all around. Like I said, he's just one of the guys that embraced me. It's been a bunch more, you know, Yaya, Nelly, you know, Mike Evans, you know, Bucky as a young guy. It's just been so many, but like I said, he's been one of the major ones. And, you know, coming into a new team, you know, trying to find your place, trying to, you know, figure out what it is that the team needs just to be embraced the way that I have. It's been nothing but love. And I said it before, you know, coming down here, it was originally knowing some of the guys on the coaching staff that coached me previously, or, you know, having Todd that I had ties with, that was going to, you know, make this feel like family. But the way that I've been embraced by the guys on the team has been so much more better, just to see how much respect that they have for me and how they embrace me. It's just love.
Yeah, how important were those coaching ties, especially for you? I know for people who don't know, tell them a little bit about your history, especially with Coach Foot, and just kind of what he means to you. Oh,
man, Footy means the world to me. Coming in Arizona, I played inside linebacker. He was the first position coach that I had in the league. I learned so much from in my 2 years with him at Arizona that has transitioned and stayed with me throughout my whole career. You know, learning how to drop in coverage and stuff has carried me so far, more than I think anybody knows. And a lot of that knowledge I gained from him, which was one of the major reasons why I decided to come here. You know, had some other teams that wanted me in free agency, but having him, knowing that he was going to be here, it made it that much better, because I love footy out in Arizona. You know, he made it easy to be there, because playing inside linebacker was hard. I was transitioning into a position that I had never played before, and just the extra time that he took to, you know, develop me as a young player in the league, and to be around him now again after all these years, to reconnect, to see that he's still the same guy, a true player's coach. Another guy that's so funny, you're going to hear Foot all day long, and I'm glad to see that he hasn't lost that about himself.
I love that. And, you know, you mentioned that, you know, Bucky, guys like that, for you going against this offense, how important was that for getting you adjusted here as well? Like, that's a talented group for going against in training camp, and the way that it could help get you guys as the defense ready to go. What were the biggest things that stood out to you about our offense when you were facing them?
Just that we had playmakers and ballers all over on the offense. Knew that, you know, this is an offense that you would love to play with. You know, we've been a little down because of injuries. Hopefully we get back to full power soon, because when we do, I know that our offense is going to put a lot of points up on people. What makes that better as a defense, right? The more points that they can put up, it allows guys like me, Yaya, guys that want to, you know, Vita, guys that want to pass rush the, you know, rush the passer and get after them as well. If they put them points up, we'll be able to go do what we love to do. And, you know, it just meshes really, really well, and you got to love that.
Yeah, Will, what have you seen from those offensive guys, and what do you remember even about those first times of realizing, like, who Bucky could be.
Yeah, make you miss in the phone booth. And if your pad's not low, he can run you over too. Explosive, man. That's whenever I think about Bucky, I think of explosive home run hitter, you know. And I know what it's like to go against some guys in camp, going against them and the Heat. So it's wild. How did you acclimate to the Heat?
Oh, man, I would say training camp was a little tougher, but being out here now, really getting acclimated. That first quarter, that first part of Sunday, though, it was a little different, you know, because we don't usually practice at that time.
Yeah.
So and I don't know what it is about the stadium, but it was like it made everything like 10 times more hotter. The humidity, I don't know what it was, but you know, I've been getting acclimated really well. Just biggest thing is staying up on my hydration. And we have a great staff in that, you know, they make sure that we have everything that we need. So big shout out to them, love to them. You know, no matter what it is, shakes after practice, drip drops, GRS, whatever it is that we need, they have the tools to make sure that we stay hydrated, make sure that we stay fueled up so that we're ready to go. Even like the little lunch bowls that we have the little snack bowls that they give us in between our meals that we're already getting here, it's like they're doing everything that we need to do so that way we can stay fueled up, stay feeling good, stay hydrated, stay energized, so that way we can get out there on game day and go attack the task.
I like that. What do you have a game day routine or slash? I always love asking if you're superstitious, and I feel like everybody always says no, I just have a routine, which I'm like, I think that's what superstition might be. So, Will's confirming that you are already. Yeah.
No, I do. Well, being here now, first thing is, as soon as I get up in the morning, making sure that I get a full bottle of water, and whether it's drip drop or something, like I said,
it's a good Tampa superstition right there.
Gotta stay hydrated. So first thing I do after I, wash my face, brush my teeth with all of it, I'm going to go get me a bottle of water. As soon as I get into the building, I'm getting me another bottle of water, and just, I stick to, after that, pretty much sticking to the rest of my game day routine, stretching, getting out on the field, warming out, working some pass rush reps, and then getting back into before we come out again for warm-ups again, getting back into the building, getting another bottle of water. And then, like I said, we go out like 30 minutes before the game, warm up as a team, and then I'm getting back into the building and I'm getting another bottle of water or something. Just got to stay hydrated out here. That's the biggest thing that I've grasped and added into my routine this year.
I like it. All right, we're going to take one more break here with Haason Reddick and Will Gholston on the Players Table. Brought to you by Hooters, the original wing joint since 1983. This is Buccaneers Radio. Welcome back into the Players Table, brought to you by Hooters, the original wing joint since 1983. We got Will Gholston and Haason Reddick here. So Haason, wanted to get to know you a little bit better for all of our fans. First of all, I hear fashion, very into it. I heard someone asked if you styled yourself and you were maybe like a little offended even at the question. I'm like, yes, obviously I do.
Nah, big into fashion. Growing up, my father and my uncle, they were big dressers, loved to stay fly. So I kind of picked that up from them, and now I'm being in the league. It's just a way that I get to express myself, get to come in on game day. You look good, feel good, you know what they say, you play good. So that's something that I love to do. I've grown in that area over my years, and I'm really taking a liking to trying to build my own style.
I know, Will, you were very big into that as well.
Oh, yeah. Got to stay fresh.
Got to stay fresh.
I loved it.
I love it. Will was always one of the best dressed ones for sure. So I know, what are the other things you love to do, like in your free time? If you're not here at the facility drinking 1,000 bottles of water, what are you doing in your spare time?
Just really, especially in season right now, just staying off of my feet, trying to get as much rest as possible. When I'm not, preparing for the team, watching film, or once I get done with that for the day, like I said, I'm in the house, so I play video games, things of that nature. Just trying to do everything that I can to, keep the mind fresh and ready to go, but also the body as well. So I honestly don't do much, especially in season. I'm locked in, I'm focused, I'm trying to give the team everything that I have, and I'm trying to give the fans everything that I have. And I know that in order to do that, that comes with making sure that I'm right mentally and physically. So that's just what I'm focused on.
Top video game for you?
Top video game right now for me, I have two. I would say Marvel Rivals, a fairly new game. I'm big on anime and DC and Marvel. That's like my little niche, my little hobby there. So yeah, and the other one would be 2K. I play 2K a lot. You know, I think all football players have hoop dreams for some odd reason. But we weren't good enough to make it, so that's why we all play football. And that's a little inside joke that all football players have. But in order to get my hoop dream fixed, I play 2K a lot.
I like that. I like that. Favorite NBA player, and then therefore also favorite superhero if you're into DC and Marvel.
My favorite. I'm sorry, what was that?
NBA player and then superhero.
Okay, my favorite NBA player of all time would have to be Kobe. You know, R.I.P. to him, but what a mentality he has, you know, or had. And I think it's something that no matter what sport you play, you can learn from that, you know, how to attack any sport, how to attack, you know, life at the end of the day. So big shouts out to him, man. What a player he was, and just even shaping my mentality, watching how watching all the videos on how he attacked the game, how I've been able to, you know, bring that over to what I do in football, and keep my mentality strong as a winner, and trying to be victorious. And then my favorite superhero, as of right now.
Oh, I like that it changes day to day.
Yeah, it is. Cause I'm a big Black Panther fan. You know, just love what kind of king he is for his people over in Wakanda. So big on him. But as of lately, because I play Marvel Rivals, I would say probably Spider-Man. He's one of the funnest characters to play in the game, and I got some time put on him and learning him, and once you do that, you get to diving in on his backstory and seeing what he's done, and just Spider-Man as a character. I think we all can find ourselves in someone like him.
I like that. Will, if you were a superhero in your playing days, who would you have been?
Nightcrawler.
Oh my God.
That's not what I expected.
You know how you get.
Oh my God.
If you know, you know, but
what an ability he has. Oh my God.
I love that. You were quick with that too. I really appreciated how prepared you were for that. There was no thinking that had to happen. Phenomenal. We're talking to Will Gholston and Haason Reddick here. So your story to football is so interesting. I love, sometimes we get guys in here where it's like, you were the 5-star recruit, you were played at Alabama, drafted high, like you were not that story early on. So tell people a little bit about your high school football experience, and then what it was like trying to get into playing in college.
You know, growing up was always a good football player, you know, and once I got to high school, my last 2 years, my junior and senior year, I had injuries that ended both of my seasons there. And, you know, the goal was always to try to earn a scholarship to go to school so I can play ball. Well, that wasn't in the cards for me, so I ended up walking on at Temple, which was close by where I grew up in Camden, New Jersey. And I walked on for 4 years, ended up getting a scholarship my fifth year, my senior year, my last year there. But, you know, it was tough, you know. You got to overcome a lot of odds. Me and my mother was just talking about it yesterday. You got to overcome a lot of odds. You got to do a lot of things differently. So many sacrifices I had to make while, you know, I'm watching guys on scholarship get to, you know, go out and do things like that. I mean, of course I did as well, but I had to spend a little bit more time, you know, in the film room, in the weight room, trying to do everything that I could to get on the field. And, you know, I was able to do that. And, you know, like I said, it was really tough, you know, having to watch my mother get a loan just so that I could get a meal plan so that way I can go eat with the guys on the team. You know, she wanted that for me. She wanted me to be like, you know, because earlier in my school career, when those guys were going to lunch, you know, I'm going home, you know, heating up food, you know, leftovers that I'm bringing back home that my mom would make. And, you know, she made the decision like, you know what, you're around these guys all day. I would love for you to be around them when you finally get some downtime and when y'all guys are going to eat. So, you know, those are just some of the things that I had to go through extremely hard. But, man, what it's done for my character, what it's done for my mindset and the way that I'm able to attack life now, something that, you know, looking back at while I was going through it was like, why me? But now that I've grown through it and became who I am, just extremely grateful for it because it, like I said, it made me the man that I am today.
It's amazing.
Man, I wish I played with you, bro. I'm listening to you. I'm like, this is a great human being, man.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
You're dope, man.
I love that. I was say there's some things I hear in that story that remind me a little bit of your story, Will.
No doubt. We can talk about it sometime.
Yeah, man, let her catch up with you.
Yeah.
I love that. And I know also for you during that time, and from what I've read, it sounded like you felt kind of bad that your parents were having to do taking the loans out and all that, and that especially when you were walking on, you didn't know about the future. You thought about quitting.
I did. It was just my mother was taking care of 2 households at the end of the day. She has her room and. Like I said, thank you to her, because that's I picked up routine from her, and my mother had a routine. Sunday would be her, go to the grocery store days. And she was, like I said, she was trying to feed 2 households. She had my sister back home, so not saying that we were the most well off or, the poorest from where we come from, but she made sure she had to do everything to get it done. And, I just remember one day, just letting her know, like, Mom, I see what you're going through. I see it's a little bit tough. I'm ready to go home, because, even then she would reach out to some of my family members, trying to get a couple extra dollars, for books and things of that nature. And, as a walk on, and when I wasn't saying playing time at that time, it's like, I'm putting you trying to help me make this dream come true. I see the stress that it's putting on you. I see what it's doing to you, and rather than have you go through that for something that we don't know what's going to happen, I'd rather just, at this point, I'm becoming a man. I'd rather come home. I'd rather come help. And I just remember her sitting in the car crying to me and saying, whatever it is that I have to do as a mother, so that way you can get to where you want to be, I'm going to do it. And man, big shout out to my mom. Much love for her. I pray and I thank God every day that He has given me a mother like that, because without her, I honestly don't know where I would be at.
Amazing. Shout out Mama Reddick. I mean, man, what an amazing
woman. What's the first thing you got her, big dog? I know you got her.
First thing I did was I got her a house. My mom. First of all, my mom she is the embodiment of get it done by any means necessary. Growing up, she just did everything the right way. I still remember when she brought her own home on her own, her first home, and that was major to us, because we were always living in like townhomes and things like that. And when I finally made it, my first thing was, I want to get us out of the hood, essentially. So the first thing I did was I bought my mother a home, something that she would love, and I even put it under her name. Hen, this is yours. It's not mine. This is just my gift to you for all that you've done for me and my sister. And that was it. I got her that. I got her a car. Just making sure, look, Ma, you deserve it.
That's great.
You deserve it. And I want to give you these things out of love, out of everything that you have done for us.
I love that. That's so great.
Beautiful, bro.
And then I know we talked about the fact you've had to transition positions just a few times over the years. High school, college, pro. Take us through that transition of positions, and what was the most challenging part about that?
In high school, I played DB, running back, wide receiver,
Everything you don't play now.
Everything I literally don't play now. And then when I got to college, once I start showing that, this is a guy that needs to be on the field. I don't care where we have to put them. When you're a walk-on, they pretty much put you wherever they deem fit. And, I remember Wilson just saying, like, listen, you're somebody that I got to get on the field. Right now we have DBs that's on scholarship that is going to play. So we're going to find a position for you. And they ended up putting me on the D line at DN, and that was the position I had to go through weight gain, trying to get I was like a 200-pound DB. And ended up having to gain like an extra 25 pounds just to play DN at the college level. So that was that. And then even coming to the league, my athleticism, I still had the athleticism from my high school days. And going to the Senior Bowl, that's when they tried me out at inside linebacker. But like I said, from the things that I learned in college and my mentality, I attacked it as best as I could. Went to the Senior Bowl, ended up doing really, really well there. And then BA at the time when he was out in Arizona, remember meeting with those guys. And they just like, look, if you on the board, we're going to draft you. We want you here. Try to make me an inside linebacker when I was there. And, I felt like I was growing in that position. It was taking some time because it was new. And like I said, I attacked it as best as I could. That's just who I am. I'm never going to turn down a challenge. But then, my BA and them left actually and ended up coming down here. And the next coaching staff, they declined my 4th-year option. And I just remember, at that point, it was like, if I don't get back to what I actually did best when I was in college, where is my career going to go? What am I going to be as a first round pick? So went to them, asked them like, listen, y'all declined my 4th year. Y'all going to make I'm out of here anyway after this year. At least let me play what I'm used to. Let me go back to being on the ball on the LOS. That way I could try to make the best out of the situation. Was able to do that, and pretty much the rest is history.
Found where you're supposed to be.
Found where I was supposed to be. Got back on the edge and been balling ever since.
I love it. Well, Haason, thank you so much for spending time with us today. We got to let you get to meetings, so Will and I will handle the last segment, but especially on your birthday. Happy birthday, and thank you so much for coming on here. Just a pleasure getting to know you a little bit more, and we're just so happy you're a Buccaneer.
Once again, Casey, I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you, Will. It was a pleasure. Big dog, got to get up here, know you a little bit, man. And like I said, be looking forward to seeing you around and having some talks with you, man.
No doubt, man.
I love it. All right, this is the Players Table brought to you by Hooters, the original wing joint since 1983. This is Buccaneers Radio. Welcome back into the Players Table brought to you by Hooters, the original wing joint since 1983. We had Haason Reddick for the entirety of the show until now, but he had to run to meetings. So thankfully, I got my guy, Will Gholston, here. His first week as a co-host and ended up having a whole segment to himself. So, Will, thanks for being with us again.
Yay.
Yes. I love it. Well, and what a perfect one, because at the game, you got to be a part of being one of the legends honored at this 50th anniversary. That had to be crazy. The first home game back since you have not been playing with the team is like one of the biggest celebrations of alumni legend players. What was it like to be on that side of things for the first time and see yourself standing amongst 100 or more other former players?
I was shocked that I knew as many people as many players. It stretched from 10 years. Like I know the older guys, no offense to them. I know the young older guys, and I know the guys who are just right behind me. And it's crazy. It was good to see JPP again, good to see Shaq again. It was good to see Jeremy Zuta. That was the first NFL fight I had was with Jeremy Zuta in practice in camp. It was crazy.
And obviously his fault, I'm assuming.
Definitely,
Definitely,
his fault.
obviously.
He was holding.
Holding. Boy, that was the story of the game, wasn't it? Holding. Have you ever seen a game or been a part of a game with that many penalties, especially early? That was insane.
As I said earlier, I think it was just them trying to jail. And I'm glad that, to be honest with you, would I rather them hold or hit Bake?
That's a very great point. I'm sure Baker has his preference as well.
So I'm saying, like, but they got it together. Like I said, once you got a jail, like offensive line, the one thing that I've learned throughout all of the years that I played, if they aren't on the same page, the offense is not going anywhere. So it wasn't like they were getting blown up or anything like that. They were just doing the second effort, and I don't even think it's a discipline type of thing because I know the mentality of the coaching staff. So, like I said, I think it was just them trying to gel together, make sure they wasn't the guy to get big hit, and I think they did successful.
Yeah, what have you noticed about the offense overall, first 3 games, getting to kind of watch on this side of it? What stands out?
It's the same, but it's different for sure. And I was watching it there, just the way that they run their screenplays, I was like, how they're attacking. I see a hat on the hat everywhere, and a hat on the hat to me is when offensive guys on the defensive guy just driving them off the ball. Like the wide receivers are blocking just as hard as the offensive tackles, and you getting that extra yak yards.
And how about Emeka? Watching this rookie come in. Oh, look at that face.
Did you see the catch? Of course you saw the catch. Yeah. But, man, I thought that second one out of bounds. When they gave those guys the touchdown on the one when he was fumbling, I'm like, it has to be a catch.
Yeah.
He got a PBU, and he still caught it. Brought it in. That guy's special. Plus, I'm biased because he has number 2.
Oh, is that why?
That was my number all up until I got to the Bucs.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's crazy. Well, actually, I wanted to pause for a moment here and see if one of our production assistants can bring this because
get the heck out of here.
Look at this. I have this. This has been at my desk for a little bit now. And I wanted to come wear it in honor of you being my new co-host here. We did some cleaning out of the offices recently, and this was sitting with some things that somebody clearly, and it's even got, I don't even know if this has been washed. There is stuff on it. It doesn't smell great. I'll be honest with you. But I just felt like I had to rep you, man. Is it has it just been wild for you being on the other side of this now? Of like
that
looking at this,
almost made me tear. That's crazy.
So yeah, I kept this when I found it in the room because I was like, I gotta shout out my guy over here. But yeah, how wild has it been to be on the other side of this for you now?
It took some time to get adjusted, but I think. Once I started to coach, I'm still in the game, still breaking down film. It's not at the NFL level, and then trying to give all of the techniques that I know to younger guys.
Yeah, which for people who don't know, what are you doing now?
Right now, I'm the defensive line and run game coordinator at Sickles High School.
Love it.
So, yeah, that's how I stay into football. And other than that, I just try to drown myself and my kids, you know. Amazing. Well, or I got a cigar lounge too, so I'm there too, but I try to stay as busy as possible. Coming to the game was that's the first time I ever sat and watched an NFL game my whole life. Like I've been to the Super Bowl with the Walter Payton Man of the Year, but I was working, so I wasn't really enjoying the game. But I really sat down with my two youngest boys and we watched the game. It was surreal, like, dang, you know, to just be able to do all the things I did and really be able to sit down and enjoy the fruits of my labor and watch guys that I know. It was really fun.
We're talking to Will Gholston. Tell me what motivated you to want to coach at the high school level, and what has that been like so far of kind of your favorite things about getting to interact with those kids?
I started coaching at the high school level because I eventually want to coach in the NFL. I want to be able to – I wanted to see if I could develop a player. You know, I coach Little League, but those kids don't know if they want to play. Now, coaching high school, most of the kids want to go to college, and I'm actually seeing improvement with my guys. And now, granted, we have not won a game, but
nobody needs to know that part. It's fine.
They work really hard, man, and they're getting better, and it's fun. But overall, I want to be able to coach in the NFL and be able to win at the coaches level too. That's
really cool. I like it. What do you like about coaching so much? Like, why do you think that, and what do you think you would bring to it and be good at?
I'm just addicted to the game. Like, it's not like I love football. Like, I'm really addicted to football, and the more I talk about it and explain to other people, you know, different scenarios and what's going on, or even like play that chess game on the chalkboard. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but like if an offense coordinator put up his scheme, I put up what I would do to change it. He do what he wanted, like how we attack it. This is how I would attack if you attack me that way. I like that. It's fun. I like there's no room for complacency in football.
That's pretty cool. I like that. Are you still doing jiu-jitsu?
Of course.
Of course. How are we at this point? Because I know I came and did a story with you, what was that, 2 or 3 years ago now?
You told me when you choked me out?
That time when I choked. Yeah. We need to make sure we throw that photo up there. It's my favorite photo of all time. For you, what is the motivation now? I know originally you got into it to help you with football. So what has it become to you that now, even post-playing, you're still wanting to do it and the drive for that?
Well, it's just another way to just stay active. And it's fun trying to fight somebody from choking you, to be real, like just to get out of those submissions. And it's really calming. It helps me stay calm, because if you get pretty frantic when you're out there and you're rolling, if you don't control your emotional well-being, like your state of mind, you will end up having to tap out. So I think it's just helping me just day to day working and I think I'm a better dad, better man, just doing jiu-jitsu. Also, I want to say this. I won a basketball championship for 35 in the under league. Just to let you go. Or was it 35 under or 35 and up? I won the league, though. Shout out to the Smoking
I do think
Eagles.
it makes a slightly big difference if it's the under or the over.
You know, to you. But to me, coming off of the football, and I got a few buckets.
So, wait, is this a rec league? What is this?
It was a rec league, yeah. That's
Yo, I'm
how much time
you
I
showing
had.
up. If I'm on the other team, I'm quitting immediately. I'm like, this is unfair. Like, you are a
we had
giant.
refs. It was like for real. We had real referees.
What position were you playing?
I was playing power forward center. It was I played. DeMar Dotson was playing with me too.
Shut
I
up.
had Dot out there playing with me, and it was so unfair.
Truly, that feels like someone might have died on the other team.
And I'm looking at Dot. Dot was going hard. I'm like,
he was.
He is playing for real. I'm playing, I'm like, I'm keep my wind up. I don't want to roll an ankle or anything. Let me just run up and down the court, play a little deep. No, Dot was out. I thought he was about to dunk on somebody. It's crazy work.
Were you here when DeMar Dotson got here?
Yeah.
Do you remember the story of him trying out and
With
what that looked like?
shoes.
Yeah. What is that story again?
So they said when DeMar came up here to try out, all he had was his basketball shoes. He didn't have no cleats, so he was doing the workouts in basketball shoes. That shows you how athletic this guy was.
Yeah.
And he still is to this day. Like, when I watched him play, I was like, because I used to always in the locker room talk stuff to Mike and to Dot. Like, man, I beat y'all in basketball. And Shaq. I beat all those guys in basketball. And watching Dot, I was like, damn, this shit would have probably
He might not have been able to back that trash talk up.
Oh, no, I'd have backed it up.
Oh,
I still beat him 1-on-1. But
of course.
It would have been way harder than I think.
Okay, harder than you would have thought. Yeah. That's pretty funny. For you now, looking forward to this upcoming game here against the Eagles. I mean, we know there's just a little bit of bad blood between these two teams here. And what have you noticed about maybe their offense? I don't know how much you've gotten to see them this year. Not a ton has changed of who they were last year, but knowing that if you're loving your little defensive scheming, let's say you were one of those coaches up there right now, what are you scheming up? Knowing, again, we are without Kalijah, but some of these guys have done a great job of stepping up. What are you focusing on? What are you scheming up to try to stop that Eagles offense?
You got to just find the weak links and attack them. When you watch film, as I know that they do, you find the weak links on the offensive line because everything starts up front. If you can find the weak links on the offensive line and attack them and do it consistently, then you make some problems in the backfield, rushes the timing of a quarterback throw. The running back going to be looking for those guys, and then it'll clear holes for the linebackers to be able to run through. And I like the way Dennis is out here running through them gaps now, seeing his young self out there and Devontae doing his thing, and then cohesively the defense will be able to go. I like to attack inside out. Destroy the offensive line, make it easier on the DBs, make it easier on the backers, make it a better game. Now, they do have a really good offensive line, though. So, and a really good backfield and some really good receivers. So, but that's the NFL, 1%ers. So, it's going to be very fun. They got my gears rolling on how we really try to attack them.
And what are your thoughts on what you guys learned about being one of the better teams at stopping the tush push? What was the messaging as a defensive lineman for taking on that play?
I don't know if I can speak on it because you always watch film, but I think it's just the mindset. You know you get what you're getting into. They are getting low to the ball. Mm-hmm. They driving out, and it's for a yard, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to ban it, but they didn't.
They didn't.
Why? That's not football.
Yeah.
Well, it is. It's like a rugby play.
It
right?
is, yeah.
It does look like rugby.
It feels like a rugby play, yeah. How about facing a guy like Saquon? What is that like as a defensive lineman?
It's fun because you know you about to go against the best of it, but you can get juked in the phone booth. It could be about a yard this much, and he can still make you miss. And he's strong enough to run behind his pads. And he doesn't talk crazy. So for me, I like when guys talk stuff. When I was playing, it was, all right, oh, yeah, I'm going to get you back. But he don't. He's got a smile on his face, and he just do it. Like, boom. Just like we played him last year at home, and he bust out that super long run. He didn't talk stuff. He just got back in the huddle.
That's wild. That's got to almost be more frustrating.
Oh, man. Like, oh, you knew you was going to do that in his head, so just assuming.
It'll be fine. Yeah. Were you a trash talker?
Yeah.
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 You paused like you were like, should I say it? And the answer is yeah. That doesn't surprise me even a little bit. Well, thank you so much, Will, for coming in. We're so excited to have you and Cam alternating as co-hosts a little bit throughout the season. And we just are loving the insight you have and just so great to see you around the building again.
I want to see Cam one day sitting there.
Oh, we might bring you both on there. It's going to be great. I love that. All right, well, that's going to do it for us on the Players Table, brought to you by Hooters, the original wing joint since 1983. This is Buccaneers Radio.